Hi, I'm Matt here in Michigan.
And I'm Randall here in Texas. This week, Matt and I are going to be taking a look at a movie that was recently released in theaters but is now out on video on demand due to obvious reasons. Emma. It stars Anya Taylor-Joy as the primary character, Emma, and Johnny Flynn as her would-be love interest in this movie. It also has a very, very diverse supporting cast. Bill Nighy plays Emma's father in this, and there is also Mia Goth playing a main role as Emma's best friend, as it is. So, Matt, what did you think of Emma?
I thought Emma was a real enjoyable film. The first thing I noticed about this film, I think, is like visually. It's visually very pleasing to look at. I thought, from the wide shots, looking, from the scenery, from these elaborate houses. I mean, this, focuses on 1800s England, and it's wealthy families and stuff. So they have these extravagant houses and stuff in it. So visually, I think this movie was really good.
Yeah, so it was well directed, and all the actors, all seven of England's 12 actors, decided that they were going to show up for this one for sure. Um, Bill Nighy in this, I love him. He's got kind of a smaller part, but like he's really really good in this movie. Like really really good. Zoolander kind of good, you know. And but I did keep on looking at his character, and I thought, man, Bill Murray could do that part. You know, like Bill Nye did a great job, but I kept thinking every time he's on screen, I could just see Bill Murray inserted there, and it'd be kind of fun to watch that version of the film. But really, no surprise, Anya as Emma, she steals the show. She was also in Split and Glass. She's making a great filmography for herself, and she she has so many of these like quips, these blink if and you'll miss them kind of moments. Her physical acting is great, and her ability to just really quickly do some wordplay is really, really good as well.
Yeah, this movie is kind of a comedy, but not like jokes. There isn't like jokes being told and stuff of this. It's all kind of like situationals. Like some of the situations are kind of humorous and stuff that what happens here. And each of these characters are kind of like big characters. That's there. It's not kind of like I feel like I'm looking into the past or something on how things were. Each actor does a good job making these big characters, these kind of exaggerated characters that have a certain personality that is really exaggerated. I mean, Bill Nighy as Mr. Woodhouse. I mean, it's an ongoing thing that he always feels like a draft or is a little bit chilly or something, and all of his servants are coming in with these things to keep him warm.
He's just doing that just to mess with the servants. I think he just gets a kick out of it. You know, he's obviously on the ball as in reality, but I think he just likes to play like he's a little bit out there, the eccentric rich person.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just saying like other characters too. You have like the one character that is kind of like the town gossiper or whatever is always going over the latest stories and stuff that she's heard all the time and stuff too every time that she sees Emma.
Yeah, definitely. And it grates on Emma's nerves. She's just like, oh, great, here we go, another gossip session. But she's super polite about it because it's where she has to be. It's her job to be polite, and as it's kind of a small town situation, and we both come from a very small town, so we kind of, I assume, feel some of that where it's like, oh, now I have to, this person's professed their love for me, but now I have to see them every day, even though I've turned them down, kind of situation. You see that in this movie. One of the things that's fun, I was sitting there, I was watching it with my wife, and I was like, this is my kind of comedy because it's kind of like Ghostbusters comedy where the jokes are small, they're little, you have to pay attention to get them. Like the $4,000 that in Ghostbusters. So there's a lot of that little itty bitty. If you just looked away from the screen, you might miss something, and it really worked for me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's definitely moments in this movie that made me, smile and stuff and chuckle. Like I said, a lot of it is like the situations, just like the situations that are in, different things that are happening. I mean, Emma, she, prides herself almost on kind of being like the local matchmaker a little bit. You know, she says that so far that she's never been wrong kind of thing. And then a lot of this movie is, you know, her realizing that she doesn't see everything kind of thing and that she can be wrong. And, you know, just as the audience kind of, you know what's going on, and but you also see how Emma's thinking and realizing that, you know, Emma's not necessarily getting things right.
Yeah, the one like stick in the mud. I wouldn't say stick in the mud. I should say the character who is grounded, who's really, can go toe to toe with Emma, and that's Mr. Knightley, Johnny Flynn's character. He does a fantastic job in this. The actor portraying it, and I love their scenes together. I love it when those two are on screen going head to head with each other. There's obviously there's chemistry there. And they end up the primary love interests, as it were, I guess you would say. Of I didn't see what was right in front of me, but those two on the screen made the movie the most enjoyable, honestly.
Oh yeah, I agree. And a lot of that too is because a lot of this movie is about, you know, class structure and stuff like that. Like a lot of people respect Emma and stuff too, not just for her qualities, but I would assume that the Woodhouses are probably the, you know, wealthiest family or whatever in town, or some kind of class structure. So everyone kind of like looks to like Emma and her family to see how they react to different things, and then they react certain ways as well too. And a lot of it between, you know, her and Mr. Knightley and stuff is basically, you know, how they look at different things, like looking at people's personalities and not just their class structure and stuff, or where they fit into the town and stuff too. So it's interesting that they, you know, they do well, good job challenging each other, bringing different perspectives to each other, which is really good. I think, yeah, it definitely works.
This movie is probably not for everyone. If you don't really like chick flicks, or if you don't really like the rom coms kind of stuff, or if you sat in your 10th grade English class and you despised watching anything that was Shakespeare, this is not a movie for you. This was definitely built for a bit of a particular audience, and I think that it nails that audience very, very well. Like, I enjoyed it. Um, if you like classical works, like Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, you'll probably also like this movie.
Yeah, some of the downsides I would see about this movie, it took me a little bit to get into it just to figure out who everyone was. I mean, Emma's talking about a guy that she's interested in meeting and stuff, and it's kind of like you're trying to figure out, all right, like who's from what family, you know, what are the different things on that. And I thought a bit of this movie is kind of predictable too. I don't think there's any real surprises, things that might come to surprise to like Emma, I think was really, you know, kind of played out in the movie. Granted, I haven't watched any previous iterations of this film, and I haven't read the book, so I didn't really know the storyline too much. But I think a lot of it, maybe other things have been influenced by it, but a lot of the stuff didn't really come as a surprise to me in this film.
I didn't read the book, and I hadn't seen the original movie. In fact, I didn't even know there was a movie with Gwyneth Paltrow until my wife let me know there was. So take that for what it was. But Emma is such a famous story that I knew the storyline beats already. I didn't probably know every single thing going in, but I'm like, okay, I know that this is going to happen, and I know that this is going to happen. And you're right. This is the kind of thing, like the Jane Austen novel has probably had an effect on 20th century, 21st century movies more than 21st century movies have had an effect on how this particular film of Emma was made. Uh, it's nice and it's relaxing to watch, and I enjoyed the comedy for what it is.
Yeah, I totally agree. Definitely enjoyed it. You know, it was a good change of pace movie, and it was really enjoyable and stuff. Of course, Randall and I, we want to know what you think about this movie if you've seen it. If not, go check it out and then tell us what you think. If you like this review, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to see a lot of other videos and stuff that we're working on. We also have a Facebook page to keep you up to date on what's coming next. For now, I'm Matt in Michigan. See you guys.
And I'm Randall here in Texas. Everyone have a great day.